Good morning. This is FloorDaily.net, and I'm Kemp Harr. This morning, my guest is Howard Brodsky, the co-CEO with CCA Global. Howard, how you doing?
Good, Kemp. How are you?
I'm good. It's good to catch up with you. We've had this news this week that you've had to cancel your winter convention that was scheduled for the middle of the month. Let's get into that in just a minute. Before we get into that, most everybody knows who you are, Howard. You've been the leader of CCA Global since its very beginning. That got started back in the 80s, right?
1985,
yeah.
Many years ago now.
Yeah. Exactly. When it comes to the retail sector of the flooring market, I'd say that CCA Global, with all its many brands, Carpet One, Flooring America, Flooring Canada, IDG, and Floor Trader, ProSource, exactly, that you're probably one of the biggest driving forces on independent retail, and you've got quite a team and a great organization. Right. I know this decision that you made was not made lightly. Talk about that if you would.
Yeah, and it was an executive group decision, Kemp. And look, there were many factors that went into it. As you said, not only not taken it lightly, it's about a serious decision you can make, because us getting together with our members is really an important part for both of us, for relationship, but also for programs and product. But obviously, the COVID was spiking at just at the time, and they're predicting actually the height to be in mid-January.
Right.
And the concern, there are multiple concerns. First of all, the safety and health of all our members.
Yeah.
With 2,000 people in the room, we certainly didn't want any to be getting sick. And I understand while the Omicron is people getting less severe symptoms,
right,
their percentage, the hospitals are pretty full right now.
Exactly.
And so, the last thing we'd want is a member going to a hospital he can't get in Orlando. Mm-hmm. And the other thing, though, they said many things fit into it. You saw that they had 10,000 flight cancellations in a 7-day period. Mm-hmm. In the United States, a lot of that due to worker shortage, because of COVID. Mm-hmm. And that looked like it was only going to get worse. So we did not want our members to be stuck and not get back to their stores, or even, have a tremendous difficulty getting there. Mm-hmm. And then also, if somebody got ill, even if they were not very ill, if they got COVID, they'd have to quarantine. And quarantine, frankly, in a hotel room is not like quarantining in your hometown or where your family is. Right. And so there were, I think, a lot of factors that went in, and then Canada changed their travel regulations that would not permit our members to come down from Canada. Yeah. So the Canada was off the table. So I think, obviously, there were a lot of factors that went into it. If our production company had lost people during just COVID, they have to quarantine. Right. Could we execute the quality that we always depend upon? So it was, without a question, health, safety, but also functionality of our members getting in, getting out, not being quarantined. There were many issues that went into it, and obviously not taken lightly, but we felt strongly it was the best decision for our members.
Mm-hmm. You brought up worker shortage, and I think in that reference you're talking about the airlines and whether or not we can actually get everybody together in one place. But another big factor, I know it ripples throughout all your membership, is concern that these independent retailers, that's the core of your membership, they're all struggling to maintain a base of employees, aren't they?
We know, I think they just came out again, 4.6 million people left the workforce.
Right.
Not even going somewhere else, Kim. They left the workforce. So I think finding and keeping employees today it's one of the challenges and one of the opportunities, because if you're a very good employer, people will stay with you. And I think what I would say was most of our members tend to be very strong in this relationship with the store and the community, and they've had people stay with them for years and years and years. And CCA, we're fortunate in the same thing, that it has not impacted us greatly, because I think we have a great culture for people to come and a great culture for people to stay. Yeah. But it is probably the driving issue today in the United States is finding labor. Yeah. And in certain jobs, it's obviously much more challenging than other jobs. You look at in the medical world, nursing or nursing assistants, very, very difficult. Yeah. And the hospitality world, very difficult. I'm not saying that the floor covering industry doesn't have some challenges, but I think most of our members, and I think, have been fortunate. I mean, everybody would like it easier, and have more people apply. But I think that we're going to be living in this little world of uncertainty for a while longer.
Yeah. Let me ask you, because I know how you make decisions. You said it was a leadership decision, but I'm sure you polled some folks that are some of your core members, and I'm thinking they probably said, we don't like the idea, but we understand, and actually it's probably the best move. That's probably the feedback you got, right?
Yes, without a question. And we understand. Look, it's not that we thought that everybody was going to be uncomfortable going. We had people that were dying to cancel, not come, and I think you've seen a lot of other shows, a dwindling attendance that we've seen in other shows. But having said that, we had to consider all the members, and probably having things presented to us, like our travel company and organization, information presented to us that maybe all the members might not have accessibility to. Information we're getting not only came just internal, but external also, of what was happening on the ground, and air travel and hotel travel and service and quarantine potential. So there were a lot of other factors that were playing into it at the same time, Kemp.
So let me just tell you, we were disappointed last year when people like StarNet canceled their meeting, but we completely understand. And you did boldly go to Denver and had a very successful meeting in Denver. It's just the circumstances have changed with this Omicron, right?
Right, and Denver was like, sometimes it's a perfect storm, sometimes it's just the perfect time. Denver ended up being the perfect time.
Yeah.
It was before the Delta variant really took hold.
Right.
Just a couple, 2-3 weeks, so everybody was very comfortable.
Yeah.
There was no mask requirements, no vaccine requirements. People, hopefully, they got it, but if not. And it was a very comfortable atmosphere in Denver. And as I said, it just worked out as well as we could ever expect.
Yeah.
And therefore, I think with COVID, timing is something that we don't control 100%. Yeah, you look from country to country, everybody's doing something different, and I think all companies are adjusting differently.
So as hard as it is for you to pull a meeting together, I guess this just means we're going to wait till your summer meeting, right?
Yes. We will have relationship and communication with the members in between, obviously.
Yeah. Okay.
Because we have programs, so we will be in touch with our members and certainly execute the plans we had in place.
Okay, Howard. Well, here's one last question, if you don't mind, and I'm surprising you with this. I'm surprising you with it. But what's your outlook for 2022?
We're very positive. I think we're going in very strong with a lot of back order, and it appears the home improvement industry is going to stay strong. I mean, housing, small indication, is going to stay strong.
Right.
And when housing stays strong, as you know, a lot of people and they continue to make moves from city to country, from a small home to bigger homes, from different regions of the country. There's been more mobility probably in the last 12 months. It looks like it's going to continue for a while. So I think that all bodes well for our business. We're very optimistic that 2020 will be good.
All right, Howard. Thanks so much for spending time with our audience. Again, been talking to Howard Brodsky, the co-CEO with CCA Global, and you've been listening to Kemp Harr and FloorDaily.net.